The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the Trader's Edge, folks. I absolutely love being here with you. It is wonderful Wednesday, off to a great start of your day, and I certainly love our Wednesday opening because we get to hear that inspirational voice of Ed Young. Ed, I hope that you're doing really well. We all send out some white light to Ed, so it's a great way to, for me at least, as a host here, to be able to start out my day. If you take a quick look around the markets here, you've got the Dow futures off about 50 points or so, the S&P off 7, NASDAQ off 10, and the roller coaster of life. And folks, you can always check us out on TigerTV. If you're listening on the radio, we absolutely appreciate that. You can always catch the archive of this show on Channel 9. And I'm absolutely going to teach you everything. I'm going to teach you everything. I'm going to teach you something today. We always do. It's always about patterns. You know, folks, it's kind of interesting. Success, if you think about success, what is success? There's all kinds of definitions of it. Usually I give you a different one each day. Maybe think of it like this. Success is about the obvious. Oftentimes it's really right in front of us, isn't it? Success is truly right about the obvious. The problem is, you know, when you go back, at least they didn't in my school. Maybe in your school they did. But I can tell you in my school, they didn't teach you obvious one and obvious two. Well, that's what we do here at TFNN. We teach you the obvious patterns that are out there. All you have to do is have patience, wait for the patterns to set up. If those don't set up, go find the next pattern. That's really what a treasure hunter is all about. You know, and one of these days, in the not too distant future here, I'm going to really show you what I mean about that, about really being a treasure hunter, about really how you would actually go ahead and be able to produce the type of returns, whatever those returns are that you want. But folks, I love the opportunity to serve you. And so when we talk about opportunity, I want to talk about opportunity just for a moment, just simply because, you know, somebody once said that you have to love what you do. Do you believe that you have to love what you do? I don't think you necessarily do. I mean, go back to times in your life. I've had so many different types of jobs as I was simply, I've been working since I guess my first job was when I was selling those watermelon candies back in the 5th grade. But I mean, I've been a cement mason. I used to paint parking lot lines. In fact, the day that Jimmy Hoffa disappeared, I was painting parking lot lines at the Teamsters facility in downtown Detroit. We knew something was going on. We just didn't realize that it was that big when he was disappeared from the Marcus Red Fox down in off of Woodward in Bloomfield. So you know, I've done all, and look, folks, you know, did I really love doing that? Did I love painting parking lot lines or building these big shoulders by being a cement mason and carrying bricks and mortar up? Absolutely not. You know, I didn't. But what I did, folks, was I loved the opportunity. I loved the fact that somebody saw something in me that gave me the opportunity to be able to build on the next step. And that's really what it's all about. It's the ladder in life. Folks, it's always the ladders in life. And so what you want to really do, maybe you don't have to appreciate what it is that you do. In fact, when you're learning something new, that's when you get confusion. You know, when you get confusion, one thing that I've absolutely learned, when you get confused about something, what it really means for those folks that are successful, and I know that includes everybody out there, it really means that you're about to learn something. So if I throw out the terms A to B equals C to D, and that confuses you, it means you're going to be able to learn something here. It means stick to it. It means take a look at the patterns. Take a look at what eventually will become obvious patterns. All of a sudden, you're going to look at these charts, which used to look like foreign language to you, and it's going to be absolutely obvious. So stick with it and just simply be inspired. You know, it's just like the guy who digs ditches. You know, do you really think that he enjoys digging ditches? I've dug a few ditches in my life. And, you know, it's not about that. It's just simply about somebody seeing some potential in you. Yesterday I talked about potential, and that is really the whole key of self-motivation. And maybe it is you don't like what it is that's going on in your life right now, but how about just think about it just a little bit differently. And what I want you to do, folks, I want you to appreciate the person that believes in you, and there's all kinds of folks around you. I believe in you. I want you to be able to believe in yourself, because that's all about how confidence gets created. And I want you to have self-confidence. Last week we talked about, you know, the word confidence, and, you know, confide in con, it stands for with, like in a rose cone pollo, if you will, and fide or fide, however you would pronounce it, is really about trust. And I want you to absolutely have trust in yourself, have trust in your patterns, and I want you to have trust in the obvious. And obviously you're here to see what's going on in the markets. So let's go take a look at what is going on in the markets. We're going to take a look, start off here at the ES Mini. When we left yesterday, we had shown you A to B equals CD up pattern that was in process. Now, the 8-point on that, on the ES Mini, we're looking at the 30-minute chart that is out here. That 30-minute chart low came in on Sunday evening at about 6:30. Was that Sunday evening? No, June 11th. My apologies. It was a couple days ago. What was I thinking? It's the high that I was looking at. That was Sunday evening. So June 11th at about 6:30 in the evening, we had a low out there of 12.97. That was our A point. Our B point in the A to B equals CD came in right at the high of 5:30 in the morning on June the 12th. That was yesterday out at the 13.09 and a quarter. While we were on the show in the 11 o'clock time frame, well, the show that I'm talking about is the Money Master show that Tom and I do after this show. You had the ES Mini pulled down to that 11 o'clock time frame when it got down to a low of 12.99 even Steven. What was it doing? Well, folks, it was actually coming against two hammer candles. The first hammer candle right out here at 4:30 in the morning. And that, folks, that one, that was my hammer candle. Why? Because we had a nice confirmation on the candle after that. But there's another hammer candle out there, and I consider that one to be mine as well. That hammer candle occurred right out here at 10 p.m. on June the 11th. Now, the way that the ES Mini exploded off of that C point there, told you there were higher prices coming, told you we're going to do more than a one-to-one A to B equals CD. And when I talk about A to B equals CD, all you're doing, folks, you're taking the A point, that's your low swing point, your B point, that's your high swing point in the move, you know, before you see a change in direction. And if you just took that math and you added it to the C point, the C point is the market is always going to provide you with 75% of the clues out there. All you have to do is learn to become an expert of that C to D leg. So a one-to-one, folks, means you just take that dollar amount difference between A and B and add that to your C point. That's going to give you a price projection. In this case here, in the ES Mini, it was $1,311. Now, when you get up there, the market is always going to be releasing information to you. You see, 60% of the time you're going to do a one-to-one A to B equals CD. What you want to do is you want to learn how to become an expert to understand and be able to identify when you're going to do more than a one-to-one. And then where is it that you're going to go to? In this case here, if you take a look at my chart, you are seeing that clearly, you know, what happened in the ES Mini, it got up and it made a 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD in that 13.19 range. Right now, what you've got is you got the ES Mini backing off a bit, and it could easily do that. It did complete a 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD. If we take a look at the possible retracement that it would do, I'm going to go ahead and just erase this off my screen here just to make it a little bit easier for you to see. I'm going to erase actually all of this. So what kind of retracement can you do? Well, what you can do, folks, you'd start at your A point all the way up to the high that was put in, and that high that was put in was right here at about 4 a.m. this morning as the ES Mini got up to 13.20 and 75 cents. So where's your first area? Your first area is what it hit in the last half hour. It's where it's at right now. It's that 0.382 retracement. You can always expect the 0.382 retracement. You can expect it to pause a little bit there and then do what? Move back down into the 0.618 area. You know, there is... Yeah, if I would really struggle here, you know, I could make a case for a small A to B equals CD down. They're always around us. Here's your A point, which was the high at 4 a.m., your B point coming down at 5 a.m., your C point moving right back up here at 5:30. You know, so it's in the process right now. I mean, it's completed a 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD, but that one's kind of narrow. But those are the breathing patterns that are always out there. So what is the market doing? You know, that's an excellent question. And I'm glad that you asked. So if we go take a look at what the market is doing, let's just pull up the S&P index right here. And if we pull up the S&P, I'm going to go back to the index futures here. I'm going to pull up the ES Mini daily here, the continuous contract, and we're going to go back into the time frame here of March the 6th. So what the ES Mini actually did was, if we take a look at the low here, and it's actually March the 6th, the low there is 1338.50, and we take our straight line tool, we go straight across. What you can see is that the ES Mini was able to get into that March 6th area on June 11th. That was 2 trading sessions ago. That was when we came in to work, to our offices, and we saw that futures were up. I mean, they were up huge Sunday evening. In this case here, the ES Mini was up, got as high as 1342 in that session, got down to as low as 1299. Think about that, folks. 1342 to 1299. That was a 40-point swing, in one 24-hour period of time. Less than a 24-hour period of time, quite frankly. That was a huge swing out there. Now, what I want you to also take a look at is, look, this has been nothing more than just simply sideways consolidating action ever since when? Ever since the lows of March 6th were taken out, which was May 14th. And what's today going to be? And take a look at some of the roller coaster that we've done here. Take a look at yesterday. Yesterday, you had the Dow finish up 162 points. The day before was down to 180, 90 points, or what have you. The roller coaster is going to continue, but it's like being on a ride. We're not really going anywhere other than maybe some anxiety from folks that are out there. And so what's going to happen today? Well, there are clues out there. And where can we get that first clue, folks? I say we can get it from the Queen this time instead of the King. So we get back, we'll go take a look at the Queen. We'll go take a look at the Euro 120-minute chart, see what the Euro is doing, folks. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pesavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing.
Stock market corrections are the number one reason that a buy and hold investment strategy produces the poorest results, and I have 73 years of data that proves it. Now, the good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. And if you're one of the 70% of American households relying on their 401ks and IRAs for retirement, you need the single strategy that is bulletproof against the turmoil of our stock markets. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com. Under Breaking News, click on Success is a Numbers Game to receive this must-have free report. This bulletproof strategy may be days away from giving the next signal. Don't neglect your retirement, and don't neglect this signal. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com to order your free copy of Success is a Numbers Game today. Implement the disciplines contained in this report, and success will be yours for the taking.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. And, kind of cool. We had somebody in our den here, folks. We have something called the Tiger's Den, and it's really a great peer group of traders, of investors. So if you're looking to be able to take yourself to the next level, I absolutely suggest that is your next stop along the path here. You can test drive that for 30 days. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com. And one of the comments that I saw as I just scanned through the den comments here, kind of little posting chat board that we have. One of the gals, actually didn't pay close enough attention, I apologize, said that they were selling tomatoes since the age of 5, or no, not necessarily now, but from at the age of 5, selling tomatoes, knocking on each door. And that's really when I was talking about opportunity. When you think about this, and I've run plenty of businesses, owned plenty of businesses, and it really is always about being able to make the sale, being able to have customer service, and it's always a numbers game. Success is a numbers game. That's a free report that I have out on TFNN's homepage. If you haven't gotten a copy of that, why haven't you? That's really the question you have to ask. That's not really what I wanted to talk about here, but success is a numbers game. And so when you really think about it, folks, maybe knocking on someone's door or maybe picking up the phone to make that next call is not something that you love to do. I mean, I totally get that. I always had to work on the psychology, of the folks that worked for me, because there's always two ways to be able to look at something. And that's certainly one way that you can look at it. But think about it this way, and this is the way I always suggest you take a look at life. Always try to identify the positive, not the negative aspect. Because what's the benefit of making that next call or knocking on somebody's door? What is it really? It's really that opportunity, folks, of what might be behind that next door. And it's really all about opportunity. So think about that. How about who's knocking on your door right now? Well, I know it's TFNN. I know TFNN is knocking on everybody's door just simply with regard to the promotion that Tom and the group here actually put out there for you. It's a Tiger Dollar promotion where you're going to be able to get 20, 25, or 30% more on your dollar. So for each dollar, you're going to be able to replicate that into more money immediately for services. So if you do use services at TFNN, it's an absolute no-brainer. I mean that in the best of ways. And then what you get with that is you get 10 full hours of training and education from hosts like Basil Chapman and Larry Pesavento and Tom O'Brien and Ken Shreve, David White, Kate Stalter, who am I leaving out? Oh, and myself as well. And you're talking about each Wednesday, folks, you're going to be able to get education if you can't attend the Wednesday session, because it is, let's face it, it is summertime and folks are on vacation. What you can do is that will be archived on your homepage for 30 days. So go check that out as well. And, let's come back here to the Queen. Let's take a look at what, to me, looks obvious. And so what looks obvious here is that, and it really doesn't matter the time frame of the chart that I've got on here, but I'll tell you, it's a 120-minute chart of the euro. Why is that important? Because currencies rule the world, folks. So when you do take a look at this chart here, one of the first things, just in as a blank chart that you should be looking at, is what is this making here? What is this making? And we know since the queen is going to have an impact, every queen has an impact on the king, and so certainly that's the case here when we take a look at Queen Euro. What you are seeing is what? What's the first thing that you see along the tops here? What is that? You would see higher highs, correct? When you see higher highs, what is it that you're looking at? You're looking at an uptrend. What are you also seeing? You're also seeing here higher lows. So right now you're seeing higher lows on the euro. What does that suggest? That suggests that the euro wants to move higher until that trend is broken. Has it been broken yet? Absolutely not. And what has kept the trend in place here? Well, interestingly enough, it's one of my bullish engulfing candles. On the 120-minute chart, as the euro was coming into the lows at 10 a.m. or during the 10 o'clock session on June the 1st, you had the euro trade all the way down to 1.24574, and somebody stepped in. Maybe it was a bunch of short covering. Maybe it was some central banks. We'll never know. What we do know is we know that what was behind the move there was what we call a bullish engulfing. And it wasn't just a bullish engulfing. It was a major bullish engulfing. Why do I say that? Because this body here, this green body right here, folks, engulfed the prior 11 or 12 trading sessions. I didn't really count them all up, but it's about 11 or 12 trading sessions. When you engulf one candle, that says you've got, some power, some energy behind it. When you engulf two, okay, it's got more. But how about 11? Hey, gold on the way down engulfed an entire month. And when we took a look at the daily chart that was out there, and that absolutely sent signals. That's what you want to be able to look for at lows and at highs. At lows, you want to be able to take a look at bullish engulfing candles. Now, what you can see is the high of that 120-minute chart came in at the price point came in at 1.24574. And look at how that area here, folks, has held as a support line. Looks to me like what the Queen actually wants to do is wants to come visit us here at TFNN. Looks like the Queen wants to get to Suite 618. That would at least be 1.25809, folks. 877-927-6648. Dow futures off about 50 right now. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
To the races. You got the Dow down 42 points, S&P's off 7, Composite off 13, small caps down 3. Leading the charge on the way down is the S&P down 0.5%. You got Microsoft off 6 pennies, Intel off 15 cents, Google off $3, Cisco off 14 cents, Apple off 65, $1 right now. If we take a look at what is leading the upside, that's kind of unusual. You don't see this too often. You got Johnson & Johnson, J&J, the ticker symbol, they're up $1.37. That tells you that how struggling today is so far. Johnson & Johnson up 2.2%. You've got, let's see here, you've got Celgene, CELG, up $1. That's 1.6%. Looking for something other than a pro share here, you got Fortinet. FTNT, they're up 50 cents. No big shakes there. So not really a lot on the way up. You got Dell after going ahead and offering a dividend up 48 cents right now. That's up about 4%. Now, to the downside, though. To the downside, you got Smith's Miracle-Gro. Scott's Miracle-Gro. Apparently, they're having some troubles there. Actually, I didn't read the news on that, but they are down 17% here. Right now, let me see. What was it? Was it an earnings thing? Had to be. I don't see it here. Scott's Miracle-Gro, though, down 17%. We'll go take a look at that stock, see where it is trading. You've got Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, REGN. They're off 5% this morning, down $7 and change. Tractor Supply, they are absolutely struggling, down $3.78, getting hammered this morning. They're down 4%. Vistaprint, VPRT, they're off 9% this morning, down $3. Cummins Inc., CMI, they're off 2%. Parker Hannifin, down a couple percent. So it looks like we're going to be spending our time to the downside. But first, let's go take a look at Johnson & Johnson. So let's go see what Johnson & Johnson has got up their sleeves here. J&J this morning, they are up, as I say, about 2%. They have gapped up big time. What was the news here in Johnson & Johnson? What do they do? Let's see. What did they do? Okay, well, acquisition of Synthesis to be accretive in 2012. So they acquired a company, but that's only 3 cents here. Well, that must be what is pushing the stock. So you take a look at volume today. You know, they're digging. They got 10 million shares right now in Johnson & Johnson. And so they're going to, Johnson & Johnson's going to try to push into the swing point here of May the 3rd. That only has 10 million shares, so it's going to have the volume today to absolutely do that because you've already got 10 million shares. The low on that is 65.10. It's got a ways to go. You're at 64.53 right now. Let's go ahead and put Johnson & Johnson here on the monthly chart. Let's go ahead and refresh this screen here. Let's go take a look and see what Johnson & Johnson looks like on the long term, whether this is in a long-term bullish or bearish camp. And we're going to do that. And, folks, if you go over to the homepage of TFNN.com, you can get my free report, Successes in the Numbers. And you can see right now Johnson & Johnson still in that bearish camp here. Looks like today they're going to try to make a change on that. If I go over here, now this is a monthly chart, so you got to wait for the month to be over. but right now you've got it in the long-term bearish camp. That is on Johnson & Johnson. Let's go take a look at Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. They're the leader dollar-wise on the day, down $7 and change. So let's go take a look at that. REGN is the ticker symbol. And they should be trading out at 121. They are. And why does it show it being up on my chart here? Looks like Stevie needs to refresh his screen. There we go. Now we're taking a look at it. Okay. So what this is doing is, the last time it had any kind of sign of strength, there was a very small sign of strength, was going back to April 25th when it gapped up with 3.2 million shares. Came down and tested with 1.3 million shares on May 18th. Wasn't enough to bust it down. Came back down there on June 1st with 1.7 million shares. 1.7 going against 3.2. Still wasn't enough to bust it down. What are you doing so far today? So far today, you've done 259,000 shares. It is trying to bust through that little breakout area. Once it does that, where's the next place that it's going to stop? Well, not much further down below, up in the February 13th area, price point of 117-ish and low of 109-ish. But where it really wants to go, if this thing breaks down, and look out, folks, if you are in this, because if this does make a break to the downside, December 16th is written all over it. And why do I say be careful? Because the high on that is $53.72. That's trading at $120.94 right now. So one at a time, stocks, equities continue to get picked off. If we take a look at the weekly chart here, weekly chart really says the same thing. So you want to be careful here. In this case here, I would say where you'd want to be careful with is on the weekly. You do not want to see a close below. Well, if this thing gets into the 116.93 area, then what you're going to be taking a look at is it'll at least get down to 102 area. So that is on Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. Let's go take a look at Smith's Miracle-Gro. Let's see what they are doing out here. SMG is the ticker symbol, SMG. And gapping down this morning, trade down at 36.24. And this is the second gap down, suggesting it's got even further to go. So when we take a look at the B point here, we'll take a look at the larger B point that's out here. That was on June 4th. The low there of 41.66. That did 385,000 shares. Of course, this morning, you're already up to 560,000 shares in only 10 minutes of trading. So let's go put this now. This is after making a high out here with 466,000 shares on May 10th. 2011. And if you take a look at the, looks like all that it did on the retracement on the way back up, if we go from the high of May 10th all the way down to low that was put in on August 8th, 2011, what it did was a 0.786 retracement, which was in the 56.21 area. It actually got up to 55.58, close enough for my line of work. Now let's go find out where this is headed. Let's put this on a weekly chart and see what we can see here. Boy, busting all kinds of B points. And the B point right now that it's taking out is the B point on the weekly chart of August 2011, making an A to B equals CD down. So let's take a look at that A to B equals CD down on the weekly chart. And the 1-to-1 is what it's hitting right now in the 34.99 area. Looks to me like this wants to get into 29.36 just when we take a look at the AB equals CD. What else it is doing in its trading right now, folks, is inside May of 2009. The low, the high on that's 38.97. So you're already inside there. That has got 9.5 million shares on the weekly basis. It says it wants to go test 32.71. So you got a 1 to 1.272 at the $29.36 area, and you've got this high volume bar from May of 2009. One at a time, they keep getting ticked off. And I don't mean upset. I mean ticked off where you've got major markdown distribution going on. Let's go take a look at Casey's General Store, CASY. They are down 11% this morning. So there's not a lot of folks going into that general store. Casey down at 53.31 right now, gapping down this morning, breaking a B point and breaking a B pointer swing point with volume. So this now has a, breaking the B point or the swing point that we're looking at is from June 1st, 226,000 shares. Today, it's done 155,000 shares already. That's already into the swing point of April 10th. That has 297,000 shares. That is going to get busted. So where is this little puppy going to? Well, this puppy here is headed down to its most recent day with, let's put this on the weekly chart, where this is really headed to is going back here to June 24th, 2011. The high there, 44.67. You're at 52.85 right now. That's where it wants to head to, folks. So you might want to consider getting out of Dodge if you are in Casey's General Store, because the door is open and investors are leaving. They're leaving the station. Tractor Supply. Let's go take a look at Tractor Supply. That thing cannot get out of its own way. TSCO had been one of the high flyers inside the IBD 50. Now it's been retired from the IBD 50. And I don't know where they put them out to pasture. They send them to the glue factory. Tractor Supply here today, right now, is breaking another swing point. That swing point is June 5th, 1.2 million shares. So far today, 226,000 shares. I can easily do the math and tell you it's going to have the volume. So you get it closed below, 84.81 today. Where's Tractor Supply want to go? All the way to the last breakout area. That last breakout area coming back to January 11th, 2012. Price point there, folks, $74, $72.50. So if you want to take another, another 13% heat, then stay in the stock. Otherwise, take your profits and run and be happy with the profits that you have booked, because this thing is breaking another swing point. This thing is breaking with volume always to the downside. That's on Tractor Supply. Let's go to Lou in New Hampshire. Lou, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Thank you. I'm wondering where there was a Bradley model.
Yes.
Yesterday, and I don't know if that comes into play at all. But I'm looking at the S&P. Where do you think that's headed short term?
Short term. Well, let's go take a look at the S&P 500 here. So let's take a look at it. You know, it's been in the sideways consolidation range here where it is headed. In my opinion, it's going to head up to the 0.61. Oh, I got the Dow up. Give me a second here to pull up the S&P 500. You don't want me to give you the Dow numbers, do you, Lou?
No.
Okay. All right. So, where this looks to me like it is headed. Now, it's got to clear the March 6th low. Hasn't made it all the way up there. 1340 is the number on that. Where I really see is I see the S&P moving up into the 0.618 retracement area. That would be at the 1358 price point. And if we take a look at ABCD patterns that are potentially out here, still in play as we speak, the A point on the S&P is a June 4th low at 1266.74. The B point now happens to be the high of Monday, which got up to 1335.52. The low came in yesterday at, right now the low came in yesterday at 1306.62. So an A to B equals CD gets you right back up into the bottom of this uptrend channel, which would be normal. What you also have there is you have a point, if I just simply come all the way to the highs of April 2nd down to the low, is what you also have in that area. You're right in between the 0.618 and 786 area. So for me, it looks like the S&P wants to try, and I don't know how it's going to do it, but what it wants to try to do is get up into that 1362, 1389-ish, 1375 area. That's the range where it looks like it wants to get to. And, I say the first area, if it can, if it's the little engine that could, where you're going to want to start taking a look at short entries into the market is when it gets into the 1357 area. That would be, you could also take a look in March 6th. Is going to be your first sign. If you get it closed inside 1340.03, it'll want to travel up into that 1375 area. So at the moment, that is my call on the S&P 500.
Very good.
All righty?
I appreciate it.
You bet. Have a great day. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. And part of what's behind that, folks, if we go over and take a look at the King dollar, haven't done that today. The King is trying to pull back. And the King, right now, the pattern that's set up on the King is A to B equals CD down. That A to B, just a 1-to-1, will take you into 81.24. And the 1 to 1.272, the more likely outcome gets you into that sweet 618 area in that 80.58, 80.77 range. So I'm looking at what that also does. It gets into really all that would be happening is you'd see the king getting into that January 13th swing point. The high on that is 82.04. That's what's stopping it dead in its tracks right now. It's trading out at 82.33. Has not gotten down there except for once, which it did on Monday. And so the low on that exact same swing point happens to be $80.74. So coming together at that 80.74 happens to be a 1 to 1.272. A to B equals CD, as well as the 0.618 area. But first, it's got to break through. It's got to get into that January 13th time frame. Of course, when you take a look at my take on the euro, when we looked at that 120-minute chart, right now it's still showing higher highs and higher lows. So there is a uptrend channel in place, and that was on the euro. If we go take a look at gold, you've got gold trading out this morning out at $1,622. That is up $8 this morning. Gold continuing to try to get up and test the bottom of this trend line here. Where's that price point? Well, that price point is going to be somewhere in probably the 1672-ish range. You're at 1621 right now. Gold is, in my book, is on a long-term sell signal. Gold trying to retrace all the way back to 1155. If we take a look at high-ho silver, you've got silver trading off 69. Is it trading off 69 cents? That doesn't seem right to me. Doesn't look right to me. 877-927-6648. I got to go tap my machine here. See why it says silver's down 69 cents this morning. That doesn't look right. We'll be right back, folks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow off 65 right now. S&P's off 7. Composite off 16. And look around the world. You got the DAX trading off 60 points right now. That's down almost a full percentage point. The FTSE over in the UK off about 0.6%, trading down 32 points. The U.S. led off yesterday and handed off to Asia. Last night you had the Nikkei up 51 points, 0.6% over in the Hang Seng. Up 0.8%, up 153 points. The Shanghai up 1.3%, up 31 points. And silver right now trading out at $28.80. I'm not going to figure out. It says that it's down 69 cents. I'm not sure if I had a chart problem, but it is trading out at $28.86. That much I do know. Light sweet crude down $1, $82.35 on its way to 75, and then lower than that, folks. So that is a good thing. Now, let's go take a look at a couple of the ETFs out there. Let's look at the Qs first. That's what I've got up on my screen. Let's take a look at what the Qs did yesterday. Yesterday, going into the back into the swing point of May 29th out there, had 44 million shares. You know, that swing point was rejected, both sides of it, on Monday, June 1st, when they got up to a high of 63.38, a low of 61.77. That had 50 million shares. So yesterday, what do the Qs do? 49 million shares. You know, I'm rounding up just a bit. Did actually 48.8 million shares. Of course, that 48.8 going into that May 29th area again with 44 million shares. So right now trading just underneath the 62.28 of May 29th, just a little bit of jockeying back and forth here. So still, I see the Qs also having the opportunity to make a nice A to B equals CD. And what I'd like to see it do is I'd like to see it make a Tiger Gartley sell pattern. That's what I'd like to see all of these ETFs doing out here. If we go take a look at the diamonds, well, the diamonds were weak yesterday. However, the diamonds did manage to get back inside that May 29th area. Didn't test either the high or the low of the Monday trading session, so really an inside day. If we take a look, though, at May 29th, that had 6.8 million shares. What you did yesterday, not you specifically, but certainly what the ETF did, only 4.9 million shares. It was summertime in the diamonds yesterday, not having enough volume or strength. What is the diamonds doing right now? Diamonds trading out at 124.97. The low of May 29th is 124.90. So you'll want to pay attention to those numbers as well. Could be just simply another inside day of building some cause to go in some type of direction. Right now, the direction is a spinning top going sideways. If we go take a look at the SPYs out here. Let's take a look at what the SPYs were doing yesterday and today. Yesterday, you had the SPYs get back inside the May 29th area. 152 million shares. Yesterday, you get into it with 181 million shares. Today, you're trading down a bit. You're down at the 132 price point. Another inside day here inside the SPYs. If we go and finish this off and take a look at the small caps, the weak link in the chain here, let's get rid of all of these numbers here. So if you take a look at the small caps, Now, the small caps on May 29th did 51 million shares. When you tested that on, you didn't get totally. The high on May 29th was 77.91. You got up to 77.86 on June 11th. That was on Monday, and you did 52 million shares. But yesterday on the way up with 56 million shares, couldn't even get back to May 29th, folks. So the small caps still showing weakness out there. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Tom and I will be up next. And then as we do on each and every Wednesday, we go to Basil Chapman up in Newton, Mass. Of course, I think he's on vacation. Then we're going to Larry Pesavento in Tucson. David White Band here from 3 to 4. Tom O'Brien Show 4 to 6. Thanks, folks. Have a great day.